All right, we should be good. I'm gonna check it.
Come. All right, Shalawam, Yasharala. This great Millstone,
Shalom.
New Orleans, coming at y'all with another live lesson. But before we get started, as always, we're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yeah.
Yahawah, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, bahasham, Rakafadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for leading by example in these last days, and Shalom to the hopeful elect. So, through the Spirit, the name of this lesson is the season of skill. And we're going to go into some words that, we brothers go into all the time, season, skill, which ultimately goes into discernment. And this is something that you have to have, especially in these last days, because there's a lot of false prophets. There's a lot of prophecies that are being broken down incorrectly. And there are a lot of men that come to the truth and they don't know how to discern certain things. There's a season to everything. All right. Everything under the sun has a particular time and a season. Matter of fact, let's just start with that. Ecclesiastes.
You want to start with that Ecclesiastes 3 first?
Gone.
Come. This Ecclesiastes 3:1. It says, to everything there's a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
Right. So it's to everything there's a season. All right. There's a season to the end time prophecies. There's a season to the elect being woken up. There's a season to the ministry being shut down. There's a season to Babylon, flourishing and enslaving the 12 tribes of Israel, you people of so-called Negro and Native Indian descent. And there's a season for Babylon to be destroyed. Matter of fact, keep reading. It's going to tell you.
It says, it's a time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to pluck up that which is planted.
Right now, this truth is likened unto a seed, all right, a mustard seed that's been planted into the minds of the elect. And there's going to come a time when the harvest is going to be so ripe, the Lord is going to have to pluck up the elect. All right, we're in a season of discernment. You have to discern what time we're in. Are we in the time of this ministry having 20 more years for you to go back into the world and focus on, whatever job you have, whatever aspirations? No, we're not in that time. You going?
A time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up.
All right, time to break down. This is a time of Babylon the Great being broken down and the elect being built up. And you have to discern what season we're in. When you look at the prophecy, for example, that requires, matter of fact, let's get some words real quick. I want to get this word skill. This is early 12th century. It says knowledge, divine wisdom. Late 12th century, power of discernment. Power of discernment, sound judgment, that which is reasonable. And a lot of Jakes don't really understand that the word skill really comes down to a power of discernment. When you think of skill, you might think of like Jordan, Kobe, Floyd Mayweather. Esau, the so-called white man, he's pushed this idea that being athletic is all about your body. But Jake has, he's athletic physically, but he's slow of mind. No, in order to be a top athlete, you have to have extremely high discernment. All right, something as simple as dribbling a basketball, you have to discern, okay, this defender's right behind me. Instead of throwing a layup, I'm going to pass. That's a split-second decision like that. When you look at boxing, all right, he's throwing the left, so he's about to throw a right hook, so I'm going to come with this. Like it's millions of like just super quick discernments just like that. When you watch high-level athletes, you're not just watching somebody that has a good physique that's, has endurance and strength. You're also watching somebody that has a high level of discernment. That's what is required to be a champion. So when you come into the truth, you need to discern between everything. You need to have a high level discernment with the scriptures, with dealing with people. It's the same thing. It says power of discernment, sound judgment, that which is reasonable, senses all now obsolete. It says distinction, ability to make out, discernment. And discernment is really key to being a man of the Lord. If you're going to serve YAHAWASHI, you have to discern between, first and foremost, where's the Lord's body? All right, you have these guys that want to say all Israel's coming together. I don't care about the breakdowns. It's all about brotherhood. It's all about this. You have to discern between who's really a servant of the Most High and who isn't. You have to discern between, when you break down the scriptures, as it tells you in Timothy, you have to rightly divide the word. You have to discern everything. Everything requires discernment. It says, oh, you want to say something?
No, you got it.
Oh, come on. I want to get in this word discern because it says to perceive or recognize the difference or distinction between two or more things, to distinguish between, to set apart. Now, what's another word for set apart? Holy. All right. In order to make something holy, you have to discern. You have to discern between the clean and unclean, like it tells you in Ezekiel. That goes into being a servant of YAHAWASHI. You have to discern what time we're in. Even with something like mercy, You have to discern, okay, this brother's going off, but he's trying. You be patient with him. Okay, this brother's going off, but he's not trying at all. He's just willfully sinning. That takes discernment. You can't just say, okay, every man is, there's a discernment that comes between knowing a brother, knowing what he's going through. That requires discipline and discernment. That's with everything. It's not just I got the breakdowns. I know this breakdown. No, you have to have discernment in all things. It says to everything there's a season. You can get that unless you had something. You can get that Matthew 16:1.
Okay. This you make it a point. This is Matthew chapter 6, verse 1. 16, you say, right?
16, kind of.
It says the Pharisees also with the Sadducees came and tempting desired him that he would show them a sign from heaven. He answered and said unto them, when it is evening, ye say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning, it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the time?
Right. YAHAWASHI was getting on the scribes and Pharisees. He knew that they were trying to catch him up. But the point is, you can discern, this is really to all Israel. You can discern that, it's about to rain. You can look at the sky and see, okay, we're in the season of bad weather. You could discern, okay, it's hurricane season. For those of us in New Orleans, all right, we're about to go through, Jay might have to make travel plans. Or you could discern when certain things are coming in a carnal sense, but then in the scriptures, you can't discern that we're in the very last seconds of the last days. You can't discern that the Lord is on his way back. You can't discern that the northern and southern kingdom are coming together. You can't discern certain things that are, who your enemy is. You got jakes that can't even discern that the so-called white man is the devil, that Eve is your enemy. You got jakes that can't discern basic things, but you could look at the sky and see it's about to rain. Madness. But you can get back to that Bible shot, the Ecclesiastes 3.
Yeah, he speak a little more and ask them how they reason within themselves, saying they taking no bread. When he said, take heed, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees and the Sadducees. They reasoned and said, is it because they have no bread, thinking of leaven and bread, but just using discernment.
That's another example. Discerning between when the Lord was being literal, when he was being allegorical, discerning, just breaking down Genesis. The average person can't even discern between a serpent-like individual or a literal snake. All right, it takes discernment to break down the scriptures. It takes discernment to understand what you're reading. Bible Chef, you can give me Revelation 1 and 3.
Get the word. Yep, I already know. This Revelation 1 and 3. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that heareth the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. It's that word, read it. You can pull it up too. It's anagnoso. It says to distinguish between, to recognize, to know accurately, to acknowledge.
Yeah, it says to discern between, to distinguish between. That's discernment. All right. So Revelation 1 and 3, when it says blessed is he that readeth, it really is blessed is he that has discernment, because the Bible is the most widely published book of all time. No other book has more ancient manuscripts. No other book has been translated to more languages. No other book has sold more copies than the Holy Bible. So when it says blessed is he that readeth, you have billions of people that read the scriptures, but they don't understand what they're reading. All right. Going back to, Philip and the eunuch, man, do you understand what you're reading? You have people that read the scriptures, have no idea what the word Gentile means. That's heavy. Okay. There's a very serious understanding that the Lord is only dealing with Israel, and the Gentiles in the New Testament are Israelites. That's something billions of people don't understand. All right. The Lord, being the physical descendant of King David, he wasn't the offspring of an angel, some magic baby that appeared. No, that's an ancient Babylonian fairy tale. All right. The Lord was the son of Joseph. It takes discernment to understand that. It takes discernment to understand that, ancient, like when you read certain scriptures, you'll see the destruction of Babylon. Jeremiah is prophesying the destruction of Babylon. You say, okay, it's never going to be inhabited ever again. Then you realize, wait a minute, ancient Babylon, that's Iraq, that's the Middle East, that's inhabited right now. So you discern, okay, this is a future prophecy. This is talking about a future Babylon. It takes discernment to break down the scriptures correctly. Everything involving the truth everything involving the world, you're supposed to have discernment, Jake. There's a season of skill. And we're in the season right now where, Jake putting their hand to the plow, got their hand halfway on the plow. That's a clear sign you don't understand what time we're in.
I got you something.
You got it.
This Ecclesiastes 10:10. The point is, I'm gonna read it in the NIV. I'm gonna read it in KJV, then the NIV to have me to point home on what you're saying. It says, if the iron be blunt and he do not wet the edge, then must he put to more strength. But wisdom is profitable to direct. I'm gonna read in the NIV. If the axe is dull and its edge unsharpened, more strength is needed, which is common sense. But skill will bring success.
God, skill will bring success. And what is skill? Skill ultimately is just discernment, understanding when to use the tools that you've been given. Even when you look at off season, when people have like training, whether it's again a boxer, basketball, football, you have training camp. It takes discernment to discern. Okay, I have 10 more weeks until this game. I need to get my body in this type of shape. I need to eat this and not eat that. There's small decisions that an athlete makes every single day that you don't really see until they're on the field. You see somebody gassed out. This person's supposed to have all this endurance, but clearly you look at him play, you go, he's been bullshitting on the offseason. That takes discernment every single day in order to make it, in this truth, in order for those of us that of the hopeful elect, when you see brothers on the chariot, when we rejoice, you're going to see all of the little decisions that brothers made on a day-to-day basis. Okay, he cut that out. All right, he was dealing with the old man. He stopped dealing with that. He repented of this. All of those little decisions that you make every single day, that's what's going to get you the championship. That's what's going to get you the crown, which is skill. But Jake, understand that when it comes to sports, but then when it comes to the truth, I'll get to that later. I'll do the homework later. I'll go into that breakdown later. I'll deal with that brother later. Like, no, man, you got to deal with it like it's the most important thing, because it is.
Yeah, that which makes sense. You made a point on which that discernment is actual sacrifice, which you have to understand. A sacrifice is first is understanding what you're sacrificing. You don't just go to the altar and be like, I'm ready to sacrifice. That's how you do these modern day Christians. They just be like, I'm ready to give my life over to Jesus Christ. They haven't discerned or considered the sacrifice, man. Right? They don't know what they're actually putting forth their hand to do, which that's knowing. Having knowledge of something is skill, right? That brings about how to skill it, how to use it. All right. So when we sacrifice, just like it said, if the sword, which we handle a two-edged sword, which means what? It can cut us, right? And we can also cut the adversaries, but we have to know how to wield the sword, man. All right. And if we wetting the edge and sharpening the sword by reading, right, studying, doing lessons, talking to brothers, exchanging information, historical information, then we have to know if anything there is, we're leaving out that needed to be added unto whatever it is we need to basically totally edify, then we have to understand which scriptures we have to do, the lessons we have to do it on, historical measures we have to grab. We have to know everything that comes with that, man. All right. Which again, that's discerning what you have to. Discernment also tells you, okay, this is what I have to do. It gives you your knowledge of knowing what you have to do. All right. You can't, discernment is not something you're optimistic about. Discernment lets you know what you have to do, which is the difference. You got it, bro.
Yeah, that's a beautiful point. You had made you said in order to sacrifice properly, you have to have discernment. And when you go to the scriptures, you see Cain's sacrifice was rejected. Why? Because he didn't have discernment. He offered a sacrifice. It wasn't like he just ignored the calling altogether. Oh, I ain't gonna deal with that. I ain't gonna sacrifice. No, he actually offered a sacrifice, but it was incorrect. It was off.
Ridiculous. Yeah,
it was ridiculous. So you have to know what it is you're sacrificing. You have to know why you're doing it, and you have to know who you're doing it to. You have to know YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI. You have to know the name of the Father, the name of the Son, and you have to have the doctrine, the correct doctrine. Otherwise, you're worshiping another God. Because right now, that name YAHAWASHI has been published across the four corners. So you have men that know the name, but they still celebrating Thanksgiving. All right, I'm gonna call it YAHAWASHI Day and eat pork. Just a total reprobate. So you have to know what it is. It's not enough to just know the names. You have to believe on those names and believe in the true doctrine.
Yeah. This what I had mentioned, Sirach 34:18, you got it. He that sacrificeth of a thing wrongfully gotten, his offering is ridiculous, and the gifts of unjust men are not accepted.
Con. It says, he that sacrifice of a thing wrongfully gotten. And that's Esau. All right. He can't sacrifice. He's going to be a sacrifice. All right. In Basra. And it says his offering is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous offering for you to say you're going to serve the God of Israel, but then you don't have a proper sacrifice. All right. The whole Bible is about sacrifice. All right. The Most High sacrificed his only begotten son. So how much more his other sons?
Yeah. When you say you sacrifice into so-called, Jesus Christ, right? Then what is that sacrifice? What is that worship? How do you worship him? Where, like what history? What text? Yeah, can you find, that's in basically saying why you are serving this, that's basically an image. All right. Now you're sacrificing to a thing that can't even, it can't produce itself. It can't make life, death, breath, life, nothing. All right. But though yet, right, you rather to give your entire being, or what, everything that's in you, the thing to live, move, and have your being, you rather to give that to an idol, man. So understanding what you're actually worshiping and serving, right, that in itself is discernment. And that's why we know who we did not. YAHAWASHI tell a lady of the world, we know who we worship. That wasn't any kind of statement. All right. That was a bold statement, because he had the discernment to know that he served the living God, that Yahweh is the only living power there is, and there's no other gods, man. He said that too. So that alone, Jake take discernment for, but you really can't serve the Lord without discernment. You got to be able to what? Discern between. You got it.
Yeah. And there's no, like the brother said, there's no way to serve the Lord without discernment, and also discerning your sacrifice. Do you have this other prison religion, Islam? They don't have a blood sacrifice. They claim to be worshiping the God of Israel, but there's no blood sacrifice in Islam. All right. Now, when you go into the Old Testament, it was animals. All right. Moses, he consecrated us with animal blood, and then you have the New Testament, the blood of the Lamb, YAHAWASHI. So you go to these other religions, like, where's your blood sacrifice? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, the wicked sacrifice, as you know, child sacrifices, and blood of the wicked of Esau, Edom, but not only the blood of YAHAWASHI can validate your sacrifice unto Yahweh. And he only died for particular people. Going to Romans, like we were talking about last night, that blood only covers what? Israelites. And then moreover, with the discernment, understanding that blood only really covering the what? The 1/3, and chief to the elect.
The elect of the Israelites.
Of the Israelites. You got it.
Even Satan requires a sacrifice, man.
Satan requires it. Yeah.
Diddy, Trump, all these, they offer sacrifices, man. Kanye. All right. Blood sacrifice. They sacrifice their family members. They sacrifice their manhood. All right. Satan requires a sacrifice. Any real deity that goes under Yahweh, bahasham, YAHAWASHI requires sacrifice. So you have to discern what it is the Lord requires of you, and then do it. That requires discernment. There's a skill involved. And we're not in the season of, let's everybody come together. All religions are basically saying the same thing. Let's put our differences aside and come together. No, we can't put our differences aside. The differences is the doctrine. All right. You believe this, we believe this. That is the doctrine. So, we're not in the season of coming together, man. That's why it tells you, and back in Ecclesiastes 3, it's a time to refrain. Yeah, that's verse 5. A time to cast away stones, and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace, and a time to refrain from embracing.
Yeah, we stones in the temple, the spiritual temple. So if we mix together the wrong stones, then the temple not gonna have the foundation it's supposed to have. So the stones got every stone upon one another. All right, that had been tempered. Is the one with it's the temple mortar, or the untemple mortar is that which is off, right?
Okay, let me get it.
I believe so. You can check it out. But the thing is, you can't mix even stones, because the vibration and which stones give off, some of them are dusty, some of them are, different. They're different material. I mean, they're different. They're made of different, well, some would say elements, or you can get different stones, and they're gonna give off a different how I want to say it. You know, I like
Frequency.
something shed, something, huh?
Frequency, different stones.
Yeah, they're gonna give off different frequencies. So if the stones of the temple, the third temple, which is built spiritually, don't be the right stones put together, it's not gonna give off the proper spirit in the earth. So there's a lot goes into that, brother. Right? And the spirit of the earth gotta be what? Indulged in righteousness. Because Yahawashi was of total righteousness when he came back, man. So who temple we are? Right? If we are of Yahweh bahasham Yahawashi's temple, then it have to be built correctly. That's why we got instructions on how to build an earthly temple, which that Moses was building, but the Lord knew it was gonna be what? It was gonna be torn apart in order to what? Introduce us to the spiritual temple, man. All right, which we have to discern that spiritual temple from the physical temple and know that the spiritual temple is more important than the physical, man. You know, some jakes can't discern, well, this, you know, if I just treat my body like, man, listen, you have an inner man that's more important than your outer man. All right. That's why you got to put off one from day to day or kill off the old one so you can what? Engage in a new one.
God.
It requires discernment. You got it? Got something?
That Ezekiel, back you up. This is Ezekiel 13:8. Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because you have spoken vanities and seen lies, therefore, behold, I am against you, saith Yahweh, which our people love lies. They love to follow false prophets. All right. If the scripture says if this nigga's a liar, you know, he should be a prophet of this people, basically, roughly paraphrasing. It says, and mine hand shall be upon the prophets that see vanity and that divine lies. They shall not be in the assembly of my people, neither shall they be written in the writing of the house of Israel, neither shall they enter into the land of Israel, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh. So these false prophets, they're not even going to enter the kingdom. They're going to have to be reborn. All right, hundreds of years later, they're not going to enter. They're not going to enter the chariots. They're not going to escape the wrath of Yahweh bahasham Yahawashi in the day of the Lord. That's the point right here. It says, because ye have seduced my people, saying peace, and there was no peace, and one built up a wall, and lo, others dubbed it with untempered mortar. So basically, your job is to create a fortress around the Lord's chosen people, chiefly his elect, and you just putting up fake plaster. You know, it's like right after you were down here right after Katrina, you know, after all these houses were destroyed, you had these contractors come in, just throwing up, just trying to make something look like it was a new house, a new construction. And a lot of people lost a lot of money with these fake insurance companies, man. That's what false prophets are ultimately doing. They're putting up something that seems like a house, it seems like a temple, but it's untempered mortar. It's not real. It's not tightly fit together. It's just, I'm gonna just grab some rocks and some clay and make it look like a house, but it's not real.
Yeah. The speaking of that house, right? If we are a temple, our bodies are houses. We're likened unto tabernacles or houses. This Proverbs 27:17. Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. But why he used iron? He could have used any other kind of element, you know, different kind of, he could have said wood or anything, right? Sharpen is his friend, but the texture of iron is what? It's not easily broken. It's not it's strong and inside. It has solidarity. All right. It has a lot of elements of what? Keeping something, building something up, right? You build something with iron versus something that's wood, that iron will take way more pressure, you know, get penetrate, you know, iron may last forever. Right?
Yeah.
All right. If it got the iron of the Lord on it, it's gonna be built forever. All right. That's just from a small matter, but it says, whoso keepeth the fig tree shall eat the fruit thereof. So he that waited on his master shall be honored. Now let me get this in a different, because you made a point, and I was actually looking at this in the NIV. The one who guards a fig tree will eat its fruits. So we're guarding what? The word of Yahweh bahasham Yahawashi. Chiefly the word is Yahawashi. We guarding it. So we're going to eat the fruits of guarding this word. So that's why he said, yeah, we got differences in doctrines, because why? The word we eat, or the food we eat, or the fruit got to come of it. All right. We have to what? Be nourished. It says, and whoever protects their master will be honored. Now, how can we protect our master? By abiding by the word, doing what thus says the Lord until what? He come back. Right. We have a duty to do as it says throughout the book, Revelation, different books, hold that fast to what? Till I come. All right. So we have to, we have a power we serve that we have to get crowns of. Like you say, that book of Esdras, like Jake won't be a, oh, I was around a minute of the Lord. Like, nah, we're looking to get crowned of the Lord, man. All right. But moreover, we have a master to be honored of. So what do? You won't please your master in every way possible. So you can get what? A crown of honor, which shows he's well pleased with you, man. You got it, bro.
Yeah, and that involves discernment. Again, you can't make it to the championship rounds without discerning everything leading up to the fight, everything in the fight, during the fight. You got to watch how you breathe, and you got to watch everything, man. Right? Being a champion requires a high level of discernment in all things. You can't say, well, I'm going to just work on this one area, and then everything else, you just let it fall to the wayside. You're never going to become a champion like that in anything. So how would that apply in the truth? I'm gonna just focus on the breakdowns, but then you have no idea how to conduct yourself amongst a body of men. All right, your integrity is shaky, but you can memorize 1,000 precepts, man. That's not gonna get you on a period.
I got that word. What's a lot? I thought you finished. Go ahead, you got it.
Yeah, I was just saying it was the spirit you brought up, the untempered mortar, because it takes discernment to discern between how strong a house is. You know, you had those. I think it was either the 1950s or 60s. They had those old shows. They do westerns, and they make a fake city, and from the outside it would look like an actual house, but it was just one. It was just a door, the first wall. You go behind it, it's like it's not even a real house.
It's a facade. It's just a door. Facade. Yeah, in the front of the house. It's a facade. Yeah.
And it could fall down and land on you. It's just a wall. It's just one wall. So it takes discernment to know, okay, this is an actual temple. This is the temple of YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI. Because you have other camps, they're presenting themselves as being an Israelite camp. They're presenting themselves as being servants of the Lord. Then you look closely, it's like, man, these niggas is off. This ain't right.
Yeah, for real.
That's a facade. You know, you got it, right?
Yeah. So how much more we take the initiative to guard and watch when we sharpen the countenance of our brothers? We're watching how he build his temple, his spiritual house. We making sure it's not built with what? Because the wolf got to come around, which you could like the wolf unto Satan, which gonna send his vices, his minions out. All right, to what? He gonna put wind up on the house. All right, he gonna beat up on the house, water, you know, to test what? To test the strength of the house. That's why we as friends, which a friend is born for adversity, meaning he's building up or sharpening the countenance of his friend, so he can also achieve what? The kingdom of heaven, or the ultimate goal. So if we are actually guarding and watching how we building each other up, then all our houses will be strong, because we're gonna all be building with the same material. Now, what's the same material? The same doctrine, the same knowledge, the same understanding. Because one thing about the truth, it don't change, it don't shift. The same spirits, all right? The same one Lord, one faith, one baptism, all right? One sound. So if we're watching how we're building, then we're all building the same. We're using the same material, all right? We're all guards. This is the word guard in the online etymology. It says one who keeps, hold up. It says one who keeps watch, watchmen, a body of soldiers, the prophets, men of the Lord, also care, custody, right? And who has custody of us? YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI. That's why we're in his hand. All right. None of them will be plucked out. Guardianship, right? And he also put the ministry in the hands of the prophets. That what Paul said, that the ministry, he was given to be entrusted with the ministry, all right, along with the other men. And the name, a part of a piece of an armor, which what is the armor? The word, all right? A guard, a warden, keeper, watching, keeping, maintain, preserving, protecting, all right? A keeping, a guardrail running between the rails. Now, even when you built a house in the ancient time, you put the battlements, that's the battlements, right? That was on the top of the city to keep you what? Within the house, man. Yeah. So you wouldn't fall off or on the outside of the house, man. Even those ancient movies, when you watch the new movie Gladiator, all right, they're at the front of those boats, you know, like shooting those old cannons, you know, doing the old fighting or whatever. But everybody was behind the boats, behind things, what? Being protected in to stay what? On the ship. Once you get out of the ship, you're no longer protected, man. And that's what we do each other, man. Go ahead, you got it, bro.
Yeah, that's actually part of the law. You know, when you build a house, there's actual specifications in the law. You have to have a rail. If you
A
have
battle. Yeah.
battlement, once you start building stories, you have to have a rail. That's
Mm-hmm.
and it takes discernment to be a guard. You know, one of the words the brother went into was protect. You know, how can you protect something if you can't discern whether or not something is a threat? All right, you're
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be guarding the truth, but then you letting weird doctrines come in. You letting men use different books. The third book of Adam, all right, the eighth book of Moses. You know, the book of Enoch, Jubilees, all of this madness. You just well, look, that's in the Bible. Like, no, it's not. The book of Enoch that's mentioned in the scriptures is not the book of Enoch that you buy from Amazon.com. That was written by Edomite. It tells you that on the first page. So
Yep.
it takes discernment to know, okay, this doctrine, even with that phone app the brothers use. I remember there was a time when, you know, it was only the King James Bible and then the Apocrypha, and then when they updated it,
And
they
the
added
books.
the
Yeah.
other books. It's like,
The
whoa, whoa,
book of
whoa.
Enoch and all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't
It's like,
even
what?
press it.
Yeah,
I don't even press it and like go to it like to try to see what's nothing. I don't do nothing with it.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't even press it at the bottom. I don't really notice it's there. Like I just
Yeah.
completely just push it out of my mind, bro.
Yeah, but you have Israelites that they're not watching the apostles, they're not watching the actual men of the Lord. They just follow any book. Okay, that's part of the Bible too. That's the lost book of this. That's the lost book of that. And they get bugged out. You start believing in aliens and niggas under the pyramids. You got a doctrine that there's demons under the pyramids. I just bugged out. But they like discernment. You know, discernment is key. There's matter of fact, if you Bible shop, you can get Ecclesiastes 8 and 5.
Yep. This Ecclesiastes 8 and 5, it says, whoso keepeth the commandment shall feel no evil thing. And a wise man's heart discerneth both time and judgment.
Right, a wise man's heart, which again, you know, brothers know heart is la'ab, which is your mind. A wise man's mind discerns both time and judgment. You understand what season we're in. You understand what proper judgment is. All right, which includes mercy. Again, you know, brothers, you know, a lot of people that watch Great Millstone, they think we're just all about just being mean and condemning everybody. No, there's actually an innumerable amount of Israelites that are going to hear this word and repent. And sometimes, you know, you're going to be cut. And you're going to have what the scriptures refer to as a godly sorrow, and you're going to repent. That's what we do this for. We're not just saying, hey, if you don't agree 100% with us right now, the Lord's going to kill you. No, there's going to come a point where you're going to have to agree. You know, you come in, you have questions, your questions get answered. You might gainsay, you get won over. That's how it happens. Let me get this word season. This is because season is both a noun and a verb. You know, you could season something, which is an action. And then you have an actual season, which is a noun. I'm going to start with the noun. It says season, circa 1300s, a period of the year, all right, which is a reference to weather. It says a proper time, a suitable occasion, all right. There's a suitable occasion for everything, all right. Going into back in Ecclesiastes 3, there's a time, a suitable occasion for everything, all right. There's a suitable time to go out on a block and preach the word. That's not for the barbershop. That's not for the family reunion. Are you in fringes cussing out your family? They looking at you like you half crazy. You know, which a lot of brothers do that when you first come into the truth. You try to rebuke everybody at all times, but that's actually off because that's out of season. And what's that scripture that says a wise word spoken out of season? I think it's in Sirach.
I got you.
Come on. It says proper time, suitable occasion. Right. So there's a suitable occasion for everything. There's a suitable occasion for you to be a family man Israelite. All right. That's the kingdom of heaven. All right. You're going to have your wives, your children, they're going to be in order, and everything's going to be governed by YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI. Being a family man now while your family's against you because of the word, you're bugged out. Your priority has to be the Most High and serving his only begotten son. And that's going to make enemies out of certain of your family members. Some of them are going to be saved. Some of them are going to believe in the word and help you in the ministry. Some of them are going to be against the ministry and then flip-flop in the last minute. That's not up for you. You can't determine which one of your family members are going to be saved. Oh, I like that cousin. I used to smoke weed with him back in the G. I think the Lord's dealing with him. No, you just like him. You don't know if the Lord's dealing with him. Right? I love my wife. She's been with me. She's been down. Well, the Lord might kill her. All right. Give you 3 more wives. You know, you have to serve the Lord first and foremost. All right. The Lord already knows who's going to be saved and who's not. That's not that's way above our pay grade, Jake. Focus on serving Yahweh bahasham YAHAWASHI. You can't, the scriptures speak about saving souls, but that doesn't mean we're literally like, I'm gonna grab this person and make them get it and then save them. It doesn't work like that. Everybody comes in at their own season. It tells you in Corinthians, every man in his own order. You had that Sirach?
Kind of got it. This Sirach 20:19, it says, an unseasonable tale will always be in the mouth of the unwise. A wise sentence shall be rejected when it coming out of a fool's mouth, for he will not speak it in due season.
That's beautiful, because you could say something that's factually true, that's actually a wise word, that's sound doctrine, but you saying it at the wrong time is going to be rejected. All right. When you amongst your family, a bunch of Baptist niggas eating pork, and then you whip out the book of Leviticus, this nigga clearly got pork grease all over his face. All right. The nigga woman had been in the kitchen for hours working on the ham, and then you bring out Leviticus. Like, come on, man. That ain't the time for that. You're trying to rebuke somebody that spent all day cooking ham for Thanksgiving, and now you want to be super duper Israelite. No. And if you notice, the Jakes that do that out of season, those are never the Jakes that be on the block. Jake want to do everything except serve the Lord properly. All right. You're supposed to make your body a living sacrifice in the chief place of concourse with a body of men. So once you reject that, the Lord is going to have you, you're going to be confounded in your spirit. Like, man, I'm supposed to be rebuking Israel. I'm supposed to be doing this and doing that. And then he's going to have you do it out of season. All right. So it would behoove you, like we were going into earlier, to understand the sacrifice and understand the discernment necessary to serve the Lord in a proper way. So you don't end up putting your foot in your mouth and looking like some crazy bugged out Jake.
Mm-hmm.
It says a sense, an act of sowing. This is back in that word season, the etymology. It says an act of sowing, time of sowing, which is what this ministry is all about. This is the season of sowing. We're sowing, the word. We're sowing righteous acts. We're sowing works that are going to follow us. We're sowing treasures that are going to be laid up in heaven. And we fully expect to reap those things, man. Now, this is the verb season. It says late 14th century, to improve the flavor of by adding spices. All right. So, let your speech be seasoned. All right. It says to ripen, to season. And this is the point right here. It says to bring to maturity by prolonged exposure to some condition. And that's what this ministry is about, man. It's bringing us to a condition, being likened unto YAHAWASHI. This is a season of the elect of the nation of Israel becoming like our Lord and Savior. All right, going back to what Ephesians 4, we're being brought to that full measure of YAHAWASHI. The whole reason that Babylon exists is to take the elect from a state of being downtrodden, bugged out, beaten up, just in a state of confusion, and ultimately a state of sin. And the Lord's blood redeeming us and bringing us to the status of a God, being able to judge and discern good and evil. All right. If we had never gone off, if we had never gone into slavery, if we had never broken the commandments, we wouldn't be able to discern properly in the kingdom of heaven. We have thousands of years of what do they call it? Case studies on how not to rule, on how not to do this, how not to do that, how not to have marriages, how not to set up governments, how not to, everything that the heathen have done has basically reinforced how important it is to keep the commandments. This is one thing to tell somebody right from wrong, but then when you show them, all right, look, this is what happens when you set up a society with a democracy instead of a king. All right, this is what happens when you put the woman above the man instead of the man above the woman. All right, this is what happens when you have people eating bottom feeders out of the ocean. All right, pork, swine, sea roaches. All right, this season that we're in right now is preparing us for immortality to judge it right. You got it?
Yeah, discernment plays a major key, or is a key element of judgment. They basically interchangeable. So when you learn that the Lord requires us to judge, you wouldn't always get your panties in a bunch of being a frenzy or be one that says you don't have discernment when you say you can't judge me. All right. When the Lord does everything off judgment. All right. That mean everything requires discernment so it can have a judgment to it. So we're discerning the times so we can judge what's coming. So we can know what, if we don't judge our own actions, what's in front of us, then how can we discern what we're doing? All right. You can't do one without the other. This, I got a quick one for you. This Proverbs 18:1, because all these words going to tie into what the brother been saying. It says, through desire, a man having separated himself. Remember, we spoke of the separation earlier. right, made himself holy, seek it and intermeddle it with all wisdom. Now, in that word, I went into that word, I think it was wisdom. Let's see which one I went into, Salaki. Okay. I think, oh no, having separated himself. That's what I went into. So I went to the Hebrews lexicon, and it says to break off and to separate by breaking. This signification of dispersing, letting go, breaking forth, expanding, and also that of judging, right? So why you have to put judging in there when you separating yourself, right? Using discernment, we have wisely, well, through the spirit of Yahawah bahasham YAHAWASHI, waking us up through repentance, all right, and the understanding of the word, we're wisely doing this away from the world, because we know in the book of James 4:4, the Lord said what? He's at enmity with the world. So if the power we serve and worship says, look, I have a problem with this, then we're going to go in the opposite direction of that. We're going to have a problem. Hey, what's the thing we always say down here? If the Lord with it, we with it. How we be against it anyways? You know, technically, everybody is with the Lord with, but you're going to have, you always have what? The friction, you know, the one up against the other, right? For balance sake. But at the end of the day, everything plays its role. That's why he said he have created good and evil. All right, to have that what? That balance. So it wouldn't be no, because the Lord hate something that's not a balance. All right, so either way it go, we fulfilling the will of the Lord, man. You see, but the point of the matter is having separated yourself is how you judge, man. All right, discernment is interchangeable with judging. How you gonna judge matters if you can't discern anything? You got it, bro.
Yeah, that's a beautiful point.
Well, you just read to discern both what? Time and judgment.
Time and judgment.
With it, why was Solomon the wise man? Why would he just put that in the he just found them words good to put together, bro? Nah, they go with each other, man. All right, you got it.
Just to back you up real quick, this is 1 Corinthians 2, verse 15. It says, "But he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yet he himself is judged of no man."
There you go.
You can't be judged by somebody that has no discernment. The Lord gave you wisdom, he gave you discernment, so you use it in all things. But these people don't have discernment, so they can't judge you. It's as simple as that. Like the brother said, judgment and discernment go hand in hand. You can't judge something if you can't discern right from wrong, good from evil, holy from profane. But this is
most of the world, Salaki, if I can say this, most of the world believe we ain't supposed to judge each other. So what that tell you about most of the world? And that's why we say you people are idiotic. Y'all idiotic, right? Y'all thinking. That's why when the Lord, what does Ezekiel, I believe, when he said the people say, Lord, your ways are unequal. He says, are not your ways unequal? Yeah. Like y'all are crazy to say the Lord ways is not equal. But go ahead, all right?
Yeah, and all Jake does is judge. Jake judge battle rap.
That's how they do judge. People say you can't judge.
Yeah, they say you can't judge. They judge battle rap, ball players. They judge hoes.
Porn stars.
Yeah,
judge what kind of shit.
I bet you 9.5, man. They judge us.
They judge their thing.
Yeah, Jake judge it. You got a mirror.
I look good. I don't. Come on, bro.
Yeah, how you're supposed to judge everything, all right? But again, that goes back to discernment. When you read Matthew the 7th chapter, who that lady that passed by every week, she got Matthew 7:1 on a not an umbrella, the little bike she got the Matthew 7:1 written on it, which it says, judge not. But when you read Matthew, it tells you how to judge.
Tell you how to judge.
They just stop reading at verse 1. Like, you got to keep reading. It tells you how to judge without being a hypocrite. All right. It doesn't say not judge, and then you just close the book. You're not supposed to judge anybody.
I got a book
called Judges.
They got a whole book called Judges. Whatever though. This are the word judge in online etymology. It says examine, appraise, make a diagnosis, to form an opinion about, inflict penalty upon, and punish. Now, what the first thing they say? Oh, God forgives everybody. So if the Lord didn't judge, would we be in a position we was today? Would we all be in a position we in today? You got to ask yourself that, right? Would you? This is a question for everybody. Would you? Hold up, Bach. Would you? Oh, well, I gotta ask this. Would you rather be at peace with yourself or at war with the world, or vice versa? Like at peace with yourself and at war with the world, or at war with the world and at peace, but either way.
War with yourself, yeah.
Yeah, or at war with yourself. You know what I meant. That's what I meant to say. Would you, go ahead. Yeah, you rather be at peace with yourself or at war with Shalawam. Just say it.
That's a beautiful question, because you have to pick one or the other. If you're at peace with yourself and you're in a wicked world, you're gonna be at war with the world, because the world is against the law, statutes, and commandments. It's against YAHAWASHI, which is our peace. He's the Prince of Peace. Or you could be cool with everybody. You could be cool with the world. You could be a part of these festivities. You could be looking for America to come back. You could be all in that ambitious spirit, trying to be somebody, trying to keep up with the Joneses. That's going to cause you to do what? Be at war with your own self. You have to go to war with your own soul to make it in this society. That's why YAHAWASHI gave us the Comforter. We don't long for these things. Yeah, brothers have jobs. Yeah, we do what we do, but we don't hang our hat on this. We know it's going to be destroyed.
Yeah, and they got a saying too, YAHAWAH. It says that the stab in the back don't hurt. What hurt the most is when you turn around and find out who did it. You'll forget it. You'll forget about who stabbed you in the back if you turn around and see something like you trying to see who did it. Yeah. And then you like, if it's your girlfriend or like that was gonna really hurt. You'll forget about the stab. You'll just be like, my girlfriend did it. Yeah. Depending on the severity, but it's like a saying that's like, it's not the stab in the back that hurt. It's when you turn around and find out who did it, man.
That's right.
So Jake have to judge, bro. Right? If you find out, let's say, Jake loved the woman, your woman stabbed you in the back. What do you do? What are you going to do? What you going to say? The Lord said don't judge him? What we talking about, man? Like, it don't, and sometimes you gotta, it just, whatever, bro.
But again, that's Jake being a hypocrite, because Jake judged everything.
Judge everything unknowingly, man. That's just like when we say Jake say he don't want to die, but to live crippled, live with his legs off, ride missing, can't take a bath, it's like, why? Like, why? What purpose? I just don't want to die, bro. It's better to die than to live.
Yeah, you already did.
You already did. But Jacob say he don't want to die, but do everything to die. Right? He don't keep the commandments. He don't respect God. He don't serve Yahweh bahasham Yahawashi. He don't respect himself. He don't respect his kids because he don't have discernment. If you don't have discernment, you're giving over to Satan. Brother, that's facts.
Yeah.
Because you don't know how to judge. That means you don't know anything about repenting. You don't understand wisdom. You don't have wisdom rain down skill for you to know how to use and acknowledge the things you have, man. So with it.
Yeah, like the brother said, if you don't have discernment, you're serving Satan by default.
You serving Satan.
You don't know what to eat and what not to eat.
Yeah, brother.
You don't know who to sleep with, who not to sleep with. You don't know who your enemy is, who your friends are. You don't even know what love is. You get rebuked, which is actually love, and in your warped mind, you think, man, these niggas hating on me. Somebody giving you sound doctrine, a nigga hating on me.
They judging me,
yeah, they judging me. Which that's love. All right. We're not supposed to suffer sin upon our brothers. So if you don't have discernment, you don't even know when you're receiving sound doctrine. So if you need sound doctrine to become wise, and somebody's giving you sound doctrine, you don't even have discernment to know, okay, these are the men of the Lord. They're rebuking me according to the scriptures. You look at them like, man, these niggas ain't got no job. They hating on me because they broke. There's niggas that think that, man. Or these niggas just mad because they mad at the white man because they ain't got jobs. But we got updated cameras, we got, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, it says to form an opinion about, but get Sirach 3:24 out.
Okay.
It says to inflict penalty upon, which the Lord judged us as a nation. Now, how he inflicted penalty upon us? He inflicted penalty upon the Israelites by what? Way of sinning. I mean, by way, because of our sins, through the book of what? Deuteronomy 28. We could close the book. That's some of the greatest penalty. That's one of the greatest penalty put upon the nation of Israel, man. All right, Deuteronomy 28. And then there's more. We have more where we was inflicted more penalty upon. What penalties he inflicted upon the other heathens? That they can never come into the congregation of the Lord, right? After the third and fourth generation. And then you got Esau got the penalty of debt on him.
Yeah,
like, come on, man. This is all judging though. It says to make a decision, to decide or think. So the Lord have made a decision in the valley of decisions, right? Where he gonna get all the armies, all right, and what? Get them to war for his son to come back to pass judgment on the earth. All right, this man, come on, man. All right, it's a season of discernment. We gotta be in the spirit of discerning all things, man. The scripture tell you to discern all things. Don't it say in Timothy, right?
Yeah.
One of them, but go ahead with that scripture you got.
This Shalawam to the brother in Mississippi, Shalawam.
Yeah, Shalawam. I think that's the brother.
This is Sirach 3:24. It says, "For many are deceived by their own vain opinion."
Right. What makes your opinion vain? Right? Because when you judge, you actually making an opinion about something. But when we judge all fact. That's why ourselves are not judged off it. Because if we're judging, then we got to make sure we're not being an actor or a hypocrite of it. All right. Or we can't judge the matter. That's how you discern judging. You got to know what you can judge on and can't. If it's something you doing, you have to fall back. You got to let a brother judge that matter who can judge it. All right. Because if you put in a position in a hierarchy, you got sovereignty over people when we kings, that's why we're going to be perfect judges, right? Because we're going to be able to judge every matter. All right. Now, Salaki. Screen look like it's tripping. My screen tripping? Is mine?
Yeah.
Is yours or mine?
It's back now. No,
okay.
Both of us.
Yeah.
It's back.
But yeah, Satan got to do his thing. But if you're in a position of sovereignty, that's why we're going to be given the titles of perfect judges, because we're going to have to judge all things, and we're going to have to be found not guilty of none of them, man. Right now, the reason why we're not kings and judges, because why? Our hands are still dirty, man. All right, we ain't in no new damn covenant. Okay, we're not judges yet. We ain't in our set thrones. We're not back in our kingly status. You got it, bro.
We're not back in our homeland. That's another thing.
We're not back in our homeland. Yeah,
they can't even discern what covenant we in, man. We broke the old covenant. All right, we broke the old covenant. That's done. All right, the new covenant was fulfilled with YAHAWASHI's blood, but we have to live that out, and that requires discernment. When you read the scriptures, when you read the book of Revelation, you're going to see future events written in past tense. You have to have some discernment to say, okay, this is written as if it already happened, because in the spirit it already has happened, but we're not there yet. We're not in the kingdom physically right now. All right. Yeah. We have the victory through YAHAWASHI, but we still die. Jake still died talking about in the new covenant, man.
Yeah. To Jake judge.
Sweating it profusely.
Diseases, yeah. We still getting sick, man.
Yeah.
To judge means to show the law. That's how you judge, man. Because we can't create something in judgment. Like, it's still gonna go back to the law, right? So it's to show the law, or to show you just. That's why he say they're just and devout men. All right, that's what? That's gonna be over the law. All right, because they're gonna show the law in all their execution. No matter what they execute, it's gonna be what? Perfected through the law. All right, and if they don't understand how to do it, what brothers did, they went to law with each other. Right? So what? The judgment can be right. You got it, bro.
This 1 Corinthians 2:14, it says, "But the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of Yahweh, for they are foolishness unto him, but neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned."
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, so there's certain things that are spiritually discerned. Like when you Bible shop, you can give me Hebrews what is that, 5? It's 13 to 14, I think 13 to 14. But basically, you have to be, you have to spiritually discern things, and your spiritual discernment is exercised by reading the scriptures first and foremost, and then filtering things through the scriptures. All right, particular experiences that you have, you filter that through the scriptures. When you read other scriptures, when you read secular history, when you look at people's behavior in the world, you filtering everything through the scriptures, so you get what? Spiritual discernment. If somebody doesn't believe in the scriptures, their discernment is based on the vain opinion, like the brother brought out in Sirach. So you have Jake be in the world, they'll be woke, or they'll have experience. You know, you have these Dick Gregory type niggas. They've been on the earth for 80 years. They've been through the civil rights movement. They've seen this, seen that, and they have particular wisdom in certain areas, but it's not filtered through the scriptures. So they'll say something that sounds good, and then at the last minute, just out of nowhere, they'll just say something totally off. You know,
Yeah.
Man, he sounded wise for a second, then he just blurted out something. See, that's why we all got to come together. Like, well, wait a minute. you give this speech about how the white man has done this, he's done that, he can't be trusted, you know, but then at the last minute, that's why we all got to come together. That's madness.
Yeah, Moses ate pork. Moses ain't eat no damn pork, man. What are you talking about?
No, the burning bush, that was weed.
That was weed, the burning bush. You know, Jake say anything, bro.
Yeah, Jake say anything. That's a problem. All right. If you'll say anything, that means you don't have any discernment. You don't have a filter. You just anything goes. You got that Hebrews?
Yeah, this Hebrews 5, the 13.
Go
It says, for everyone that uses milk is unskillful in the word of righteousness. Yeah, for he is a babe.
Yeah. Keep going.
Well, I got to get that word unskillful. It says inexperienced, then, without the experience of. Ignorant.
Yeah, to not know.
To not know. Which having discernment means to know. You go on the word discernment, says know and perceive.
Yeah.
So if you don't know, then you can't knowledge is easy to him that understand.
God.
How you gonna get it?
No, I get it. Come on. This is
in Proverbs 12. Yeah.
It's Proverbs 14 and 6. A scorner seeketh wisdom and findeth it not, but knowledge is easy unto him that understandeth.
Yep. You got it.
Yeah. So, you know, you have people that especially right now, scoffing we're not in the season of scoffing anymore. There was a point where, oh, you guys believe in UFOs. Oh, you guys believe we the Israelites. You guys believe Jesus is black. Oh, you guys believe in this. Everything we believe, everything we've been preaching is obvious at this point. So scoffers are now trying to seek wisdom, but they don't have discernment. So they'll go about it in underhanded ways. They'll ask these loaded questions, basically being like how the Sadducees tried to catch up YAHAWASHI and his words. They try to do that with us, but we have spiritual discernment. We could see a nigga coming a mile away, man. Jake think he clever, man. You say it all the time. Jake think that they can outsmart the smartest minds on the earth, man. How you gonna outsmart 144,000, man? That's bugged out.
Yeah, you ain't gonna be able to do that.
But it takes discernment to know that. It takes discernment to look at a group of men on just preaching the Holy Scriptures and discern, okay, there's something different about this. This is actually the word of the Lord. This isn't a group of niggas reading the Bible. This is actually the voice of the Most High. You know, even before you learn the name Yahweh and the name YAHAWASHI, the Lord will give you discernment to say, okay, this is not just some niggas speaking their own mind. This is a higher power speaking. And if you're of the elect, you're going to be called by that. You're going to be like, man, this is it right here. What is that? I think it's Isaiah 30, where it's like you're going to hear a voice, and the voice is going to say,
walk this way. Go not either to your left. Yeah. Go not to your left or to your right. But go,
21.
That way, yeah. The truth triumphant all things, which when you read in First Esdras, when he said the king is strong and the women is strong, but the truth, it trump all things, which, like the brother said at the end, man, that brother was talking about it. Man, the scoffers, we got a APB out, whatever, whatever the abbreviation. Where you niggas at?
Yeah.
I mean, what y'all ran out of gas, right? Because scoffing easy to do. You just get on there and just go against. Going against something is easy, man. Yeah. Going with something, all right, that would take courage. It take faith. All right, going with something and never turning around from it, man. All right. It's easy to leave something and go another way, man. All right. But stand with something through thick and thin, through what Jake said, man. He been with me. That's my day one, man. Same as the truth. The truth been the same since day one. So it's not gonna change. It's the same thing. A scorner, he gonna change. It says a scorner changes. He's like the moon.
Yeah.
Right? He's like the moon. So he's gonna change. All right. But when Jake don't understand, they hurt, bro. Jake be hurt, bro.
Yeah.
And we got nothing to do with that. Again, we just reading the word. What you heard about? I didn't write. We don't know if we wrote them, but you know what I'm saying, right? Right now,
Yeah.
Jacob, you ain't write the Bible, nigga. Okay, let's say I didn't write the Bible. That don't make the words to none effect. The effect is still stand, man. Yeah. So that again, belief is discernment. You gotta have faith. You gotta have faith in what you gotta believe what you believe in, brother. You can't waver or wither with that. So it's a lot. I still got verse 15 for you.
That's heavy because we were just speaking about this yesterday. You got Jake that sort of kind of believe in some of the breakdowns and then don't believe in others. That's a lack of discernment, man.
Yeah.
You listen to the breakdown like, okay, I believe in this because I like the way this sounds. I don't know about that. You bugged out, man. Jake in the truth still bugged out.
Yeah, if it's the truth, you gotta believe it.
Yeah.
That's it, man. Well, with Jonah got swallowed by we believe it. Well, you never heard it yet. I still believe it. Bro, it's to the point to where if it's in the Bible, it's of the Lord, we believe it.
Yeah.
That's it. This is the true son of God. That's it, brother. Right? If you ain't read every word in the Bible, Jacob said, well, how you believe? I believe every word, man. I just do. That's it. That's it. We ain't moving off our square. That's it, man. All right. This the season of skill. Like the skill is on, bro. Get it where Daniel, because Daniel was maximized in his life. Even at the time, he was great. Men have been maximized. Get it in Psalms where David say that I will have more knowledge and wisdom for them that be before me. I paraphrase it. This one is Sirach too. All right.
Hold up a second.
I paraphrase it. I'm gonna try to get the one in Sirach.
I got a real quick one for you though.
You got it.
You had made a point about if it's in the Bible, we believe it. And what's the alternative to that? You're gonna believe that the Most High sent us a book that's 97% true, and then it's a few scriptures that's wrong. Like that don't make no sense. Why would a higher power inspire a group of men to write a book that's sort of kind of true? That don't make no sense. You bugged out if you believe in most of the Bible. Like that don't make no sense.
That's bugged out, bro.
This is the back view. This is Titus 1 verse 15. Unto the pure, all things are pure. Every scripture, all right. Every the semicolons are true. It says, but unto the pure, all things are pure, but unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure, but even their mind and conscience is defiled. All right. So who translated that? Who translated that book? Who wrote the book of Jeremiah? Jeremiah wrote it. Like which Baruch technically wrote a lot of it, but Jeremiah was speaking the words of the Lord. All right. We believe that. We don't care, which that's the spirit we going into King James this week. But King James' personal life is not our business, but we do defend it because you niggas believe that King James physically wrote the Bible. So you try to attack him thinking you attacking the scriptures. No, man.
He didn't write the Bible.
He didn't write the Bible.
He didn't write the Bible, bro.
But that's Jake. Like if I could prove that this guy isn't, they do the same thing with us. If they could prove that something's wrong with us, then the message that we're speaking
is null and void.
Is null and void. That's all they're trying to do. They don't know us personally. All right, most Jakes are pretty affable. If you knew us personally, you get along with us. There's very few brothers I met that you just can't get along with them. Like, but it's not us that you have a problem with. It's YAHAWASHI. And it's not YAHAWASHI, it's YAHWAH. It's his words.
Yeah. Yeah, when we say it's the King James version, right? We just saying it's a translation. The word version means a translation, another language, all right, to convert, to translate. All
And he
right.
authorized it. He didn't even translate it himself. He had scholars
Yeah.
to authorize the. See, before this all happened, you know, the Bible was a book that you had to only certain people had access to it. And King James was like, look, everybody needs to read this, which is a righteous thing. But Jake,
Yeah.
again, all things to someone who's, let me read it again. It says Titus 1:15, unto the pure all things are pure, but unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure. Even their mind and conscience is defiled. So if your mind is defiled, you'll take a good act, like the Bible being translated and published in different languages. Oh, no, man wrote that. A man, blah, blah, blah. They're bugged out. These people are defiled in their spirit, and they don't want to repent.
I got something for you.
You got it.
This is one of your favorites too. This Malachi 3 and verse 18. I knew you're gonna probably make me read 17, but it is what it is. Then shall you return. You want me to read 17?
Of course, I had that written. Of course.
No, I know, brother. That was rhetorical. I was being sarcastic. Verse 17.
I started 16.
16, yeah, come on. The book of remembrance. Then they that feared Yahweh, that was the title, for these verses. Then they that feared Yahweh spake of often one to another, and Yahweh hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared Yahweh bahasham YAHAWASHI, and that thought upon his name. Yahweh.
Right, the book of remembrance, the scriptures, it's talking about the elect. A book was written for those of us that think on the name Yahweh bahasham YAHAWASHI. It tells you in Baruch that we remember the Lord's name in the land of our captivity and think upon his name. You got it?
It says, and they shall be mine, said Yahweh of hosts, in that day when I make up my Jews, and I will spare them as a man sparing his own son that served him.
Yeah, like the brother mentioned earlier, we're all lively stones. Every Israelite man of the elect is a precious jewel of the Most High, and he's making up his jewels. He's, Jake like the falls. That's what he's doing with his elect, man.
Yeah.
Why would Jake want to be an African when you could be the jewelry of the Most High, man? He's flossing with us, man. That's crazy. We're the Most High's jewelry, literally. But you got it.
Yeah. And every jewel, every stone, you got the jasper stone. It has flavor. It has some type of
character.
It has some volume to it. It got wit. It got life to it, brother. Look at the stones. It's different stones, brother.
Yeah.
Brothers got stones on. They're different stones, baby. Come on, man.
No two are the same.
Yeah. No two are the same. We got different stones. Just like P made everybody different, bro. It is, It says, then shall ye return and discern, there go that word again, between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth Yahweh and him that serveth him not.
Yeah, you can close the book. All right. We're at the time right now where you have to discern who's the righteous, who's the wicked, who's serving Yahweh bahasham YAHAWASHI, and who's not, who's serving their own belly, who's trying to use this ministry to make money, make merchandise out of Israelites. You got it? You want to say something?
Yeah, this says, then you shall again discern. Yeah, can't, because what made that point to validate the point you said is we gonna be in the kingdom of heaven discerning who's righteous and who not. We gonna know. All right, Esau gonna be in, the wicked gonna be in chains, the other nations gonna be serving. All right, it's gonna be a clear cut thing. We know what it is. Right now, you have to discern, is the righteous or is they righteous? Is they not? Like, who is, right? Who these guys are? Is question marks, right? Which is not really question marks. If anybody with eyes can see, that's why it says, blessed are your eyes and ears. There's a reason for that. All right. Not being able to see, Romans 11:7. All right. To you, it was given to understand, to them who they just can't perceive not. They was blinded. But furthermore, right now, you'll still have a little mix up of who's who and what's what, right? Because it haven't been declared who are the actual men of the Lord. But guess what? The elect is putting on, right? It's making the distinction. You're starting to see the men on the forefront, our apostles and elders and apostles and the men under them, you starting to see the cream of the crop rise up, baby. All right, that one been burning. You seeing it come to the top of the water, meaning what? It separate, man. You know, but you got it, bro.
Yeah, there's a great separation taking place. Are you seeing men that have been preaching this word since the late 80s, early 90s? Finally, everything they've been preaching for decades is happening. The prophecies of the Bible are now news headlines, right? So as it tells you in Ezekiel, then shall they know a prophet had been amongst them. Everyone can see, okay, the apostles of great Millstone had it right. These men under them, they're the actual men of the Lord. It takes discernment to see that. But like the brother just said, in the kingdom, it's going to be well known. All right, those are the 144,000. Those are regular Israelites. Those are heathen. All right, you're not going to have to figure out. You know, it's going to be obvious. It's going to be made known. But right now we're in the season of skill. We're in the season of discernment. So, you know, keep reading the scriptures. Keep praying. Ask the Lord for more discernment. All right, Jake be asking for a new car. Jake be asking for a woman. Ask the Lord to increase your discernment. You're going to need that in these days to come. All right, we're not going to be on the highways and hedges much longer. We're not going to be doing these lessons much longer. There's going to come a point where whatever wisdom and knowledge that you have stored up, that's what you have. That's what you're going to be left with. So, you got anything else?
Yeah, I watched the movie Bushwick, and the brother. Yeah, I watched the movie Bushwick, about 2 nights ago, and now the brother done watched it. But brother, you had to know what's going on, and you know what the woman was asking, what's going on? No, you gotta listen, brother. When something like that is occurring, you have to know what's going on. It ain't no try to get. I need to get to know. I need to because as you trying to figure it out, you're gonna die. All right, that's why the prophets come before this in Jeremiah 28:8. All right, the prophets come before that. If you didn't hearken into them, just like you know when we was going over in a conference call a couple of weeks ago, all right, about the 70 AD, you had to know what you had to do. All right, you had to know what you had to do. When YAHAWASHI came before that time and prophesied right before it, you had to know when that time come, when Jerusalem be compassed with armies, the desolation is nigh. Right, flee to the mountains, go. All right, so same in this time. But that's it, brother. You know, that's discernment, dude. That's discernment. Them old women and them
children,
the bobblehead dudes who gonna fight. What's the name of them? Sakaris. You know, whoever during that time they won't fight. It's not time to fight for the temple. Let them ramshack a physical temple. The spiritual temple is at hand, right? So now you got to come in the spirit of doing things spiritually and let YAHAWASHI fight. We gotta a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hide himself. That's discernment. We got to keep hiding, all right, until YAHAWASHI reveal us, man. Because once we be revealed totally, we gonna have our spiritual powers, man. All right, yeah. Like when we truly have to not ever take our cape off no more, brother. All right, we are no more William Lewis, Clark Kent no more. We just Superman. That's it. All right, and then you know it's gonna be time. So, but there's a time of judgment for that, man. You know, but until then, this wisdom hides us in the bosom of Yahweh bahasham YAHAWASHI, man. You got it, bro.
That's another beautiful point because it takes discernment to tell between a coward and a righteous man that's hiding himself to retreat. There's something called a strategic retreat, and it takes discernment. You could look at 2 men, seemingly both of them are running away. One of them is using wisdom. One of them is just scary. That takes discernment. Jake grew up in this society where it beats down on your manhood, and Jake feel like they got to prove this and prove that. The men of the Lord don't have to prove anything to you people, man. All right. Yeah. If it's no longer time to be on the block, we're not gonna be on the block. All right, as simple as that. You know, Jake. Yeah. Jake trying to be like your boy in Maccabees that
I was just thinking of that. Yeah, he ran it. He died, man. Being over righteous. Why be over righteous much? You could get that and take us out. Right? Don't be over wicked much. You know, why be over righteous and destroy thyself? Right? Because this scripture is a discernment as well. It's Ecclesiastes 7.
Yeah, that's Ecclesiastes 7. Verse 16, it says, be not righteous over much, neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldest thou destroy thyself?
Right. So discernment take a distinguishing between, which allows you to judge the matter. Right. You carry the matter out and judge it. All right, you put both of them on, you put good and evil on the table, then you choose. What's the logic choice to always choose is good. So really, when you're in decision making, you should only be thinking of making the right decision. They don't have a million right decisions to make. It's one right way. The Lord made right simple. Evil is full of complexity. It's complex. It got layers, and because they have to have facades, and they have to have, like you say, a whole facade. Something ain't even behind. It got to be vain. It got to look the part. It got to look shallow. It look deep, but it's shallow. So it got to what? Have an illusion to it. The truth is just plain. All right, it's simple. Yeah. Okay, so making decisions is always really simple. Your decision makes itself when you really utilizing the knowledge, wisdom, and scripture, knowledge of the scriptures. Your decision gonna always make itself when something comes up. You got it, bro.
Yeah, righteousness is very simple. And when you look at Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, the blessings are short. It's verse 1 to verse 14. The evil is like verse 15 is long.
It's layered. Yeah, it's layered. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's layered.
Life, you serve the Lord, you love your family, you multiply. Like, that's a very simple life. But that's righteousness.
It's easy. It's easy. Yeah, righteousness is easy.
Dealing with many inventions and doing this and that's when it gets complicated. You serving Satan. All right.
You serving
Satan. Make everything complicated. What did Apostle Paul say? The Most High is not the author of confusion.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Oh, you got one more verse in that Ecclesiastes 17. I think you got it. 7. I think it's one more verse.
Verse 17. It says, "Be not over much wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why shouldest thou die before thy time?"
Yeah. So now using discernment, you really die on your time. But like you said, you'll speed that process up, because really none of us know the Lord's time. He's outside of time. So whenever he won't decide, the Lord will just get angry with you. Like, come on. But just like he added years on to Hezekiah's life, he could shorten years down. Don't you think? So you can't, we can't box the Lord and be like, well, he went at his time. Well, that depends on what you did. You might come across a prophet, or, the Lord knew he was going to kill you and bring you up, no doubt. But you could speed that process up, man. But point made, point made, bro.
Okay. So Abaratazah, this lesson was edifying to the elect. We're going to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, bahasham, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and Shalawam to the hopeful elect. Shalawam.
Shalawam.